In this video, we're talking about the big Zillow crash and how it's going to affect the Utah real estate market. So let's get started. I'm Targhee, the broker at Pinpoint Real Estate in Northern Utah, and have you seen the recent headlines about Zillow? No? Let me share a few with you. This one is from the New York Times. Zillow facing big losses, quits flipping houses, and will lay off a quarter of its staff. CNN reported Zillow to exit its home buying business and cut 25% of staff. As the housing market started heating up because of the pandemic, Zillow perceived an opportunity. That opportunity was in flipping homes. So about 18 months ago, they decided to start purchasing homes with plans to renovate them and resell them at a higher price. Zillow's business model has always been a lead generation site for real estate agents. When buyers and sellers come to the site, they enter their personal information and Zillow sells that information to a local real estate agent. Instead of selling the listing leads or people interested in selling their home, Zillow decided to make offers on those homes, and their new home flipping program, Zillow Offers, was born. Now let's talk about where Zillow went wrong. First of all, they changed lanes and got into a business they didn't know anything about. Keep in mind, Zillow is a website, not a real estate company. Now don't get me wrong, it's a great website. I've personally used it to check the value of my home, and you've probably done the same. In fact, when I'm meeting with potential clients about selling their home, I bring a copy of this estimate, but that's not the only data point I bring on those appointments. I also bring real, accurate data of similar homes that have sold in their specific area. Putting a value on real property is part art and part science, and at the end of the day, a home is worth what someone will pay for it and what a bank will lend on it. In the scientific method, the more data points you have, the more accurate your results will be, and that's where Zillow went wrong. Their prices they were paying for homes were based off their Zestimate, and they failed to accurately account for the renovation costs, resources, and time needed to flip the home. Buying a home with cash can be a benefit and a downfall. If you buy a property with cash, you're not obligated to get a third-party independent appraisal, and if you don't get an appraisal, you could very well overpay for a home. Here's a quote from the co-founder and CEO of Zillow, Rich Barton, on why they decided to end their Zillow Offers program. He said, "We went into the business on the bet that we could actually predict the price of a home 6 months into the future and do so with a very narrow margin of error and have our hold times be shorter. Being an iBuyer was too risky, too volatile, and ultimately addressed too few customers. The pandemic has made predicting the price of a home 6 months into the future really difficult." In summary, Zillow went wrong in these 3 areas. Number 1, they overestimated the value of homes based on their algorithmic valuations or Zestimates. Number 2, they underestimated the costs associated with the renovation work. And number 3, they underestimated how fast they could renovate and flip the homes. You may be asking, how many homes did they buy? Well, Zillow's CEO, Rich Barton, reported that they have about 7,000 homes that they need to get off their books. That may sound like a bunch of homes, but it's actually not that many when you consider 7.1 million homes are forecasted to be sold in 2021. Even if they listed all 7,000 homes at once, it likely wouldn't make enough of a difference in the inventory that prices would drop. Zillow is planning on selling them in groups to investment firms. In fact, the Wall Street Journal has reported that a New York-based firm has 2,000 homes in 20 markets under contract, and their plan is to rent them out. If you're a Utah homeowner, the Zillow Offers flop will have very little, if any, effect on your property value. I did some searching around to see how many homes Zillow owns along the Wasatch Front. I checked the county records of Weber, Davis, Salt Lake, and Utah counties and couldn't find a single home. If they don't own any homes in this market, they aren't going to be selling any homes in this market. So I think we're all safe for now. I hope you found this information to be helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.